We should have done this on, like, treadmills. We should have thought this through. Oh, the best marketing. I love it. The marketing for this film. You go on a treadmill for it. Oh.
But they didn't show us if anyone got kicked out for not finishing it, which I wanted to see.
Yeah, but you could see there was some empty treadmills. You know what? It might have helped. I get social anxiety going to the cinema, just in general. You know that. But I feel like it would help my anxiety if I could have gone on a treadmill and walked it, even though people would have paid attention to you looking at you.
So, David, to keep on brand with this film, what is your football team's favourite song?
When you walk...
Don't recognise it. Sorry, could you sing more of it so I recognise it?
You'll never walk alone. There was one guy that walked alone. He got sad about it.
Hi and welcome back to the We Needed Roads podcast for our spoiler special on Francis Lawrence's adaptation of Stephen King's 1979 dystopian classic The Long Walk. And not since Lord of the Rings has there been so much walking on screen. And in this episode we're going to look at the differences between the book and the movie, as well as what we thought of this adaptation. And I'm joined by my OG co-host David, who actually made it to the film this time before it started. And he didn't pour Coke all over himself this time. That's a soft drink, not the drug. I believe you even saw a trailer this time, David. What was the trailer? I'm the one asking the questions.
I can't... what was the trailer? I think there was a Smashing Machine trailer in there somewhere. I didn't pull Coke over myself, though. People didn't know that story, Neil. I don't think you fill people in on that story, because we didn't do an episode for... Oh, I did it in the short that I did. People might not have watched that, though. I went in to see The Life of Chuck. It was pitch black. The second I got in, the film had just started, pitch black screen. If anything, I was bang on time. I'm very prompt. Arriving exactly when I mean to. There you go, there's a Lord of the Rings reference for you.
Walking.
And it was pitch black. I was stupid for some reason trying to find my seat. I literally couldn't see anything. I had an open can of Coke in my pocket because I planned on...
Drinking it?
Yeah, drinking it, but I planned on going to the toilet as well. So
and
I was
using
going to put the can of Coke somewhere else and then go to the toilet. That's getting into too much detail.
It really is.
Myself when I sat down and sat the entire length of the movie in sticky seats and pants and stuff.
And can you let the listeners know what seat that is so they can avoid it next time we go to Cineworld?
I think it was E6.
In what screen?
1, because it was the screen with the dodgy corner where it's bent in the corner. It pisses me off every time.
Good to know. Anyway, my first question for you, David, is how long would you survive in the long walk?
Ah, man. You know what? After the film, I thought about this quite long and hard. Now, I thought we're going to get into spoilers territory immediately here.
This is a full spoiler podcast.
Okay,
People have been warned.
So the gentleman that dies because he's got the shits, that is just me all over. That is 100% got IBS, anxiety-related IBS. That would happen. There is just no question about it. But I don't think it'd get to the point where I'd shit and get shot. You know? I feel like I could shit on the... trust me, mate, I'm a pro.
You could shit on the run?
I could shit on the move, yeah. No, I've never had to do it, but I reckon I could. And so I genuinely think I'd make the first night and then fall asleep and get shot during the night, or like, you know, you'd slow down or whatever. I don't think I'd make it through night 1, but I'd shit myself and die that way.
Beautiful. For me, I actually question this. I was like, how could you actually keep walking for 5 days without passing out? And I call bullshit on the sleeping while walking that happens in the film. I know, like, they're helping each other and going, oh, yeah, you were out for a little bit. I was helping carry you. I just don't know.
I don't know how that works, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how it works. I don't think the science is quite there on that one. I reckon at best I'd get to the 3rd day, but then I'd be the guy who just starts hallucinating and seeing stuff and be like, yeah, look, it's that guy over there telling me to sit down, and then I get shot. That's what I reckon anyway.
Yeah. You think?
You can't do that many days without sleep, man. You just
No,
the brain just is like.
that's why
Fuck it.
I don't even think I get to through night one specifically for that reason. I just think I'd be too tired.
Dude, you have a toddler, a baby. You're used to this now. If anything, it's made you better prepared for the long walk.
Maybe. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got more to walk for because
Right.
I've got more to survive for.
Yeah.
Or I can see it as an easy way out.
And we'll play your daughter this clip on her 18th birthday party. So, getting back to The Long Walk. The Long Walk was written in 1979, and it can obviously be seen as the forerunner of the dystopian, let's take a group of kids and have them die one by one because the future's shit genre. However, King actually wrote this when he was a freshman in college in 1966. So if you look at world events at the time, that's smack bang in the middle of the Vietnam War. And you can see the influences of that conflict on King's story. You know, there's a whole bit with Garrett's dad, and they're trying to get, you can either be shot or you can be squadded.
Yeah, but that's like a totalitarian regime, isn't it? So
well, it kind of was, conscription in the 60s, man. Like, people didn't want to fight, and they were being forced against their will to go overseas and die in a battle die in a war they didn't want to take part with. So that is very prevalent in the Long Walk, isn't it? It's like you're going to be squadded. It basically meant you were going to be conscripted. That's what it was. And, like I say, that's what they try and get his dad to do in the book. Oh, and the film, sorry. That's what they try and get his dad to do. They try and get him to be squadded against his will. And he's like, no. And they're like, boom. So, and he dies. So,
is it? I read it as, or I saw it not in the book, but in the film, as his dad was outspoken against the regime, and because it's a totalitarian regime, that's like, you can't do that. So that's why he got shot, not because they wanted him to go off and do something.
No, they wanted him to go off and do something as well. They wanted him to join their squad, and he refused. And it's like, if you refuse, you die.
I didn't see it. I didn't see that. I saw it as he was just teaching his son values that are against the values of what they want people to like, the beliefs and like everything like that. So that's why, because he got shot for his ideals, which is very fucking relevant. Day of recording. That's how I saw it.
This whole genre, right? It got a kickstart again in 2000 with Kinji Fukasaku's Battle Royale, where a group of junior high school students are forced to fight to the death until there is only one survivor. And now, around the same time, the first Hunger Games book came out, and urban legend had it that the original version of the Hunger Games was so similar in tone to Battle Royale that the publisher told Suzanne Collins to make some changes. She went away, added in the elements about the Capitol and the TV coverage before it was approved. Now, I remember hearing that rumour loads, and I'm sure I saw it online years ago. I went to verify that today, and I could not find a shred of evidence to back up that claim. So,
you're lying.
I know, but no, I did my research, and I couldn't find anything to back it up. But the only comment from Collins was, she said she was unaware of Battle Royale when writing The Hunger Games, but the director of Battle Royale did say The Long Walk was an influence on his film. So there's your connection. And ironically, who do you get to direct the film based on the novel that spawned the genre? The director of The Hunger Games, Francis Lawrence. And of course, the brilliant Constantine, and the less said, the better about Hunger Games prequel from last year, which was terrible. So I was kind of apprehensive going into this one, because he's done really great work, and then he did that. And that was like his most recent thing before this. So I was kind of like,
But this didn't have any singing in it. Oh, it did have a little bit of singing in it.
Did have some singing in it.
But not like 50 times throughout the film.
Or Rachel Zegler.
Or Rachel Zegler.
But what actually is The Long Walk? Well, the blurb says, in a dystopian America ruled by a I can't say the fucking word, and I knew I can do it earlier. In a dystopian America ruled by a motherfucker.
Do you want me to do it? Where is it?
Yeah. In a dystopian America ruled by a
totalitarian
regime, a walking contest known as the Long Walk is held annually. Participants, known as walkers, not Walking Dead, must maintain a speed of at least 3 miles an hour or risk execution if they slow down. The contest ends when only the last walker remains alive, for which they receive the prize, allowing them to get whatever they want. Still kind of vague, right? Still kind of vague.
I didn't realise that the prize was like a wish. It's like a wish. They get to wish for whatever they want, isn't it? And
riches.
Then they get money and a wish. Because that's why the guy's like, I'm wishing for 10 naked ladies.
He's like, you wouldn't know what to do with one naked lady.
Yeah. Or Like, you'll be rich. You can get all the naked ladies you want, or like whatever. And then the one
Someone's still going to have to pay those naked ladies.
There were some
to go
really
to
good wishes actually in there. That's another thing we can ask ourselves when we get to that point in the pod. Like, what would we wish for? Have a think about it.
I will. So, before we get into our specifics of the film, here is the brief kind of synopsis of the whole film. And it is brief, David, because I timed it.
That's okay, I believe you.
The film begins with our main character, Raymond Ray Garrity, a superb Cooper Hoffman, son of the late and legendary Philip Seymour Hoffman, and he's dropped off at the start line by his mother, Ginny, played by the always superb Judy Greer. Here, we meet the rest of the boys as they wait for Mark Hamill's The Major to begin the walk. Alongside Hoffman, our other lead is rising British star David Johnson, who's known from Rye Lane and Alien Romulus, as McVree's the other co-lead of the film. And you kind of see that Ray and McVee's bond immediately as they begin walking. We also have Garrett Waring playing Stebbins, who's the muscular powerhouse, who begins as quite a loner before we learn his reasons for taking part. We have Tut Nyout as Arthur Baker and Ben Wang's sarcastic Hank Olsen, who make up the core four, or Musketeers as they call themselves. But, bar the concept of the film itself and Hamill, we still need to have another villain, and this time amongst the walkers. And here it's Charlie Plummer's Barkovich, who goads the other boys and is directly responsible for one of their deaths.
I think it's a bit mean calling him a villain.
Killer! He's a killer!
Yeah, but
How you doing, killer?
Yeah, but that's a grey area right there.
Oh, yeah. Who was it who he's responsible for? Was it Harkness, the youngest boy?
No, he's the first one that dies because of his
it's
jelly
Curly
leg
then?
or something.
Charlie Horse.
Charlie Horse, that's it, thank you, yeah.
Okay, so it was the other kid then. It was the one from Jojo Rabbit.
It was the one with because he was
Curly.
taking the piss out of his name, wasn't it? And his name was like Rank. I think his name was Rank.
Oh yeah, it was Rank. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he was taking the piss out of his name, and that's why. And then the guy was like, "Fuck you!" Like, tried punching him and missed badly, and then fell over and then died.
Because he obviously was gonna. Did he hurt his leg when he fell over? And I was like,
I feel like he could have just got back up off that. It's like scraped his knee a bit. But it weren't like the bloke that was walking on like a full-on broken ankle.
Or the one who got his legs ran over by a tank.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously weren't going to get up and walk. But
I mean, heavy armoured vehicle. So, as the days progress, we learn more about each boy's backstory until we reach our final two of Ray and McVree's. And it's here that the film changes the ending of the book quite a lot, but then also not really, if you think about it, which we're going to get into in a little while. David, what were your overall thoughts walking out of the film? What did you think?
Oh, dude, I really enjoyed it. Yeah. Like, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a hell of a lot more... I think it was way more graphic and horrific than I thought it was going to be. Yeah. A lot more emotional. I, like, full-on cried at one point. And I was like... Because I'm at the front row. I was sort of looking around like, oh, shit, no one can see me, right? I was like, oh, fuck. Like, trying to, like, wipe away a tear. So it was way more... I mean, I expected it to be emotional. I didn't expect it to make me cry. I didn't expect it to make me, like, repulsed as well a little bit. Like, some of the graphics, some of the scenes that you see... Not some of the graphics. Some of, like, the visuals. And some of, like, the angles of certain shots that you're like, huh, that's a shot that they've decided to throw in there. I really enjoyed it, man. I think it's definitely up there with one of the better Stephen King adaptations. There are a fucking good list of Stephen King, you know, like The Shining, Shawshank, Green Mile.
I feel this should be added to that company, don't you?
It's very good. I think only time will tell.
Yeah.
Whether it gets added to that like legendary list of films, but yeah, it was good.
Yeah, same, man. I really enjoyed it, and as we said when we walked out after seeing it, it was like, is that a 5-star or is that a 4-star? And I think we settled on it being a 4.5 star.
Yeah, but I think if we're saying it's as good as those films, what does it need to have done to have been a 5-star? Because they were all 5-star films.
The thing is, it's such a lean and muscular film. There's no fat on it.
What else would it have needed to have been a 5-star film? I think it was up there with those films, or just below. Like, it is like a step below them, maybe. But like I said, time will tell.
Yeah, I mean, we sort of was trying to compare this with Life of Chuck, which we saw recently. And it's impossible to compare them because they're such fundamentally different films.
Yeah.
I mean, one is hopeful about death and has Mark Hamill, while the other is bleak as fuck and results in death and has Mark Hamill.
I'd put it, you know what? I'd put it up there with Stand By Me. I think that's the best. Yeah. That's the best way of... I think this is the most like Stand By Me as well. This film. I said it to you. This is my line. You stole it from... I saw your post on Instagram. You stole the thing I said to you on the way out of the cinema.
Thing. This is Stand By Me if They just started shooting the kids every 20 minutes.
It is Stand By Me, but every now and then one of them gets shot. every 20 minutes.
And
bang.
there's quite a few more than them to start off with, because otherwise it'd be a very short film, because there's only 4 of them.
Yeah.
And then we say Jerry O'Connell's character would be absolutely screwed. He'd be the first one to go.
Yeah, bless him. Who would win that? Who would win the Stand By Me walk?
River Phoenix.
River Phoenix, yeah.
Yeah.
Or would River Phoenix take the gun off somebody else and try and kill him and then get killed that way? You know?
Yeah, it'd be Will Wheaton, wouldn't it?
You know? Yeah.
It'd be Will Wheaton who would survive. I can't remember his character from Star Trek. Who did he play? Wesley Crusher. Wesley Crusher would survive. So, getting back to the film, I loved the complete lack of backstory for the situation in the world of the film. Like, it's just, the world is shit. Everyone's poor, and everything is in short supply for reasons. And that's all you need to know. That's all you're ever going to find out. And then once the walk starts, that's all the film is. And I just love how we see very, very little outside of the walk. As they mentioned, you only get crowds as we get down to the final 2. But even then, the way it's shot, you don't really see much of it.
It's almost like the crowd's not actually there.
Because
they're all like, feel like faceless shadows, because they're like, this is at the very end of their like delirious 6 days of walking or whatever it was. It got definitely over 300 days, but I think it was like 320.
Miles. 300 days, that would be...
Sorry, miles. 320 miles, right?
Yeah, I think it's about 5 days. It's on the 5th day, I think it all wrapped up.
Well, with some simple maths, could probably work that out. If they got to work at 3 miles an hour...
And maths. Everyone loves listening and watching a podcast where
about
David
maths.
does
Yeah,
maths.
no, I'm bad at maths as well, so let's not do that.
Okay, let's not. Yeah, I think you're on the money there, man, because I think at the end, with the mental and physical deterioration of like Ray and McVries at this point, you have to question everything you see in that last scene. Like, is it real? Is it them hallucinating? Is it actually happening? I mean, and the film's, we'll talk about the ending a little bit, but it's so ambiguous as well, the way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the random cutaways of the countryside and the few sparse people we see. Like, there's some beautiful shots there, but like gritty and bad. But beautiful.
It does lead you wanting to know more about just how people were living in
general, what happened
in this. Like, yeah. So there was a war, right? And now everyone's living in economic turmoil because of the events of this war.
It almost feels like the 20s, the Depression.
Yeah. Well, just an even worse version of that.
And if you think King grew up as a King was probably born in the 40s, maybe 40s, 50s. Stephen King. So
44, wasn't he? Something like
44. That would have only been his parents would have lived through that, so he probably grew up hearing stories about it, which again can kind of key you into why he was the way he was, or why he wrote.
He's born in 47. He's born in 47.
It's still in his parents' lifetime, though, isn't it? All that stuff. And also, I like how their attitudes changes as the film goes on. So, like at the start, when they do see the few onlookers, they're all like, "Yay, yeah, we're awesome. Everyone thinks we're rock stars." And then at the end, it's like, "Fuck you guys."
But they hate the police.
Yeah,
so the police officers that are standing there saluting them, or like
any
them,
kind of authority
like,
figure, isn't it?
Fuck you, like proper, like in their face to them. And some of the imagery that they do pass on their way, like the rotting cow that's just left there. The bird that's strung up on the fencing. I mean, that's a bit weird. Random onlookers, derelict buildings, derelict streets. There's like literally nothing left. It's like, where have they all gone? They all moved to cities? Like, questions, man.
It's funny because they mention it's televised, but we never see anyone watching it right. And we only see that one little camera on like the armoured vehicle going past. So I was like, well, that's not great coverage for a big TV show, is it? They got like a couple of angles there. It's kind of a film that feels a little bit out of time.
Yeah,
like it feels like they didn't update it enough to the modern day, or give you a sense of when it was taking place.
Yeah, did they need to do that?
Not really, but only because I don't know why make a big deal about it being televised if you don't see anything.
Because that's how I suppose, but that's how they're like justifying the whole purpose of the walk, isn't it?
But then they could have just had a drone camera fly. You could have just done it easily with like a drone camera going overhead, filming it.
I think the whole question behind the reasoning for the walk was a bit bizarre. To build morale and to show hard work because the country's gotten lazy. So it's to show hard work, dedication, and
lots of dead.
And the fact that you could this could be you. It's like the lottery advert, someone's got to win or something like that. Like, yeah,
It could be you.
could be you, yeah.
But I mean, there is little to no modern technology in it though either. Like, isn't it that bit where the one kid, he's got like a little radio? But it's like a tiny little handheld radio, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
It's not a phone, is it? Then he starts playing a bit of music, and he's got like an aerial, and it's like, this feels like this was written in the original story in the 60s and hasn't been updated for the modern day.
Might have been, yeah.
And they're just like, I'll leave it. I wonder why they took the decision to not set it in a certain time. Like, it still could have been like modern day.
It didn't feel timeless.
It did to
felt
me.
like it was more. It felt like it was in the 70s.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't feel modern day.
Yeah.
But I feel like that is bothering me more now than it was at the time. I'm just like, well, when was it taking place? But it's not really that important. It's about the road.
The main technology that they had in the whole film was obviously the wrist devices, which they all wear to make them go at the 3 mile an hour speed, and that will determine when they drop off.
So they had smartwatches then, yeah.
Yeah. And as the characters say, like, what if we was to all just stop at the exact same time? What would they do? And the bloke's like, well, there's really fucking good technology in this. It would know to the millisecond or whatever which one of us slowed down first.
Let's talk performances. And Cooper Hoffman as Ray Garrity. Ah, dude, what a performance, man. I think it's like only his second major film, because like his debut was Paul Thomas Anderson's Licorice Pizza.
Licorice Pizza and this are the only 2 films I've seen him in. Really good in both, yeah.
I mean, clearly his talent is genetic here. As we
How
can
old
see.
is he?
I think he's only in his early 20s.
Yeah, he's really talented. Bastard.
Yeah, so Cooper Hoffman, he's on a mission of revenge for his father, which actually does kind of, again, tie into the ending of the film. Next up, you've got David Johnson as McVrees. And again, just shows you, once again, he's one of the finest young actors working around. I mean, you would think he's American in this, wouldn't you? You would not know he was British.
Again, I've only seen him in one other thing, which was Romulus.
You need to watch Rye Lane. It's on Disney+. He is brilliant in that as well. Now, there was a bit, apparently, from the book where they hint, and you kind of get that one brief, that McVrees is gay. Because when Ray asks him about a girlfriend, and he says no, and he kind of looks at him, and he looks back, and then that's it in the film. But in the book, apparently, a little bit more was made of it, and Ray starts worrying that McVrees is gay and fancies him at one point, apparently. But, I mean, it's just subtly hinted at here, isn't it? It's like that one line. He goes, you're a girlfriend? He's like, nah. And then just have that, he just kind of looks back at him, and he's like, oh, wait, are they implying McVrees might be gay then? But again, because of the time, because not knowing what time the film's set in, you don't have the social background to when is it acceptable or not acceptable in the terms of the filmic world. But yeah, did you pick up on that, David, or was it just me?
No, I remember the line. Yeah, I did think whether it would go down that route a little bit more. I think after that line, but I didn't really. I didn't think about it that way. Yeah, it didn't leave that big of an impression on me. Yeah.
Then you got Tut Nyaut, I believe I murdered that poor guy's name, as Baker. And he's like the poor guy, was he from New Orleans? He wasn't that memorable to me. That's the problem. I was trying to think of something particular about his character.
He's the character that made me cry.
Oh, because?
The line. There's the 4 Musketeers, right?
Yeah.
And throughout, you do get to know these characters a little bit more and more about them. And he had an emotional moment where he ran back to get another character, which we'll talk about later. And he's like holding him whilst he dies, and it is emotional. You don't know a lot about this person's. I don't think we do find out a lot about this person's backstory. Like you said, it's not the most memorable, but his death for me was the most memorable, just because it genuinely made me emotional.
Remind me what his death was again.
So he gets a nosebleed, doesn't he? I think he gets a brain hemorrhage or something, or he gets some sort of hemorrhage of the brain, and he's being held up by Ray and McGreaves, and they're just walking together, and he knows it's up, yeah, and he's talking to them, and they're talking to him, and then he just says to him, he said, I can't remember the exact line, but it's along the lines of, just don't look back. Like, just don't turn around, don't watch. It's along the lines of don't watch. And then he turns around, walks the other way, and then obviously gets shot. But I just remember, is that line, whatever the line was, I can't even remember what it was, but I just remember it made me emotional.
Well, then we also had Garrett Whaling as Stebbins, and he's the ringer. Like, he's the guy who everyone thinks is going to win it because he's like really muscular and looks like he's in spectacular shape. But of course, later on, he reveals he is one of the Major's bastard sons, and if he wins, he wants to be welcomed into the family. Of course, the Major doesn't know this or ever finds out as well.
Yeah, but he was put in as the rabbit though, wasn't he?
Hmm.
Yeah.
To keep the pace up.
Yeah.
So did the Major know? So did the Major know, or did you just know this guy's fit? He's the rabbit.
Bit of both. He was put in there to make sure they get to the end or to get that far in. You know, like a greyhound. So the rabbit analogy is like a greyhound racetrack, and he was the rabbit to make sure that they keep going, and he says that, realizes it. I went for a wee at that point, so I came back and then saw him die. So I don't actually know what was said after his reveal that he's the Major's son, up until him getting shot. But
it's pretty much that.
His one, I was surprised he lasted as long as he did. Aside from like when it's revealed that he's the rabbit, it made sense.
But then he gets a cold, doesn't he?
Yeah, he gets a cold, and for him as a character, I thought his character was one of the more boring ones. Up until he actually gets to, because he doesn't really say much. He's quite a stoic, like quiet character throughout. So when he does get his moment and explains it a little bit more, it makes sense. But I was surprised he made it to that point, even though he is like muscular and fit. Like you said, he was the favourite going into it.
I feel like you needed the character who didn't say a lot. I mean, there was quite a few of them who didn't say a lot because
there's loads in the background. There was like 40 that started.
And then it was a Native American character whose name I can't remember, who also didn't say a lot until like later on. But I suppose there would be people who were like, "Nah, fuck this, man. I'm concentrating. I don't want to."
I thought the Native American character would go quite far, and he was going quite far until he made a silly decision.
He just lost his shit, man. Lost his shit. Let's talk the Karate Kid. Karate Kid did okay.
I thought going in, his character would really piss me off, just because he's like cocky. And he's a bit like, he's written like the Corey Feldman character, I think. Whereas they're a bit like loudmouth, cocky, and, got a bit of a wit to him. And I thought he'd really piss me off. But he warmed on me, man. I felt bad when he started to go a bit like, oh, fuck you guys. I'm just trying to stay awake. And his death was quite heartbreaking as well, because they didn't shoot him.
Let's talk Luke Skywalker, the Major Skywalker, if you will.
Wait, he's not the last person to note. We got one more Walker to talk about.
Who?
The main guy that you called a villain.
Oh, Buckovich.
I don't think he was that big of a villain. And he was. So he's obviously meant to be the villain of the Pete. But I felt for him. He was obviously that kid that has like been ostracized. Is that the right word? Ostracized?
Yeah, that's a word.
Yeah, does that work in this context, though?
Yeah, that's exactly the right context for it. He is cast out from the group because of his actions.
Yeah, but not just this group, but I think his entire life. He's been that way, and he says that, like in school, he's always been that person that's never really made friends, he's never had anyone, and he just wanted a friend. The dude just wanted a friend. The dude just wanted to be... The man wanted to be loved, he wanted to be liked.
And once he starts losing it, he starts apologising and apologising. And
well, his first line in the film is to make a joke that nobody else finds funny. The dude was just so desperate to fit in, and in doing so, just didn't. And everyone hates him, and then he starts to be a dick to other people, and then his actions become quite dickish. So that's why people think he's the villain. And it's obviously because he unintentionally killed somebody. Or got them killed.
Yeah.
In the process of it, that's a very interesting discussion as to whether he did actually kill this person or not. He's not responsible for this other person's actions, but he did provoke the other person's actions. So
he's responsible for it, and you can tell it weighs on him, and he feels responsible for it by the way he acts as the film goes on.
Yeah, but is he responsible for it?
Yeah, because if he hadn't
you're
provoked
responsible
him,
for your own actions.
Yeah, but if he hadn't provoked the kid wouldn't have tried to punch him and he wouldn't have fallen over. Therefore, he shares some of the blame for it.
The kid didn't have to try punching him.
Yeah, but he shouldn't have tried to goad the kid.
He was just being, but
a dick.
I think there's an interesting discussion there that you could have whether.
Oh, you can argue it both ways, man.
Yeah,
I feel like it was his fault because he incited the incident, and then
I felt like he incited the incident as well. 100%. But the kid could have just kept walking.
Yeah, but he didn't.
He didn't. That's it. That's the thing. And it got him killed. So his actions got him killed.
Well, that's where we deviate. My note literally says it's very emotional as the film progresses because you really don't want to see any of these characters die as you get to learn more about them. Except Barkovich. Fuck that guy.
I didn't want to see Barkovich die.
I did.
Like you said, I felt bad for him.
Yeah, but you don't know to feel bad to him until later.
Aside from Ray, Barkovich is the character that you can emotionally connect with on some level more than any of the other characters because of his just desperately trying to fit in or something.
You don't know that about him until later on, and then it's literally that.
Yeah, but that was what makes it so good.
I mean, yeah, it's a great performance, and the way the character's arc structured is really well done. But his character arc is there to be that tragic villain. He's kind of like the guy who's the bad guy, and then with his last act, you're like, oh, was he? But he was.
That's what makes it so good, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what makes him such a good character.
Yeah, well, I think, okay, so we're debating different things here. Is it a good character? Yes. Is he a good character as in he's good? No. Yeah, problem solved. So let's talk the Major. That's Major Skywalker to you. And how good is it to see Mark Hamill playing I say an out-and-out villain, right? He doesn't view himself as a villain. I thought he was going to be like the drill sergeant from Full Metal Jacket, just shouting abuse and being loud and yelling at the kids the whole way. And he is, but not in a negative way. He's picking them up all the time. You boys are heroes. You know, all this kind of stuff. And I was like, that threw me a bit because I was like, okay, are you just saying this? No, you actually believe everything you're saying. Your character. So he convinced me there, man. I thought he was going to be much more sadistic. Or
because it's on telly.
But again, we haven't got the artifice of seeing anyone watching it on TV. So you kind of forget about that point of it, really, don't you?
Yeah.
At least I do. At least I did. But yeah, what did you think about Luke Vader?
Yeah, I wanted to see more of him. He didn't have that many scenes. He had maybe 4 scenes that I can think of.
Intro, and a little bit in the middle.
Intro, there was a little bit in the middle where he just gives a motivational speech after night 1. Mm-hmm. And then there's the scene with his dad, and then the scene at the end. And I can't think of anything else that he's in. So I would have liked a little bit more of him because I was interested. Because it's Mark Hamill. Who doesn't want to see more Mark Hamill?
And that's twice he's been killed in the Stephen King film this year.
Yeah. Oh wow! Did he get killed at the end?
Yeah, he died.
Was it all?
He died.
Was it all the hallucinogenic of sleep deprivedness?
Well, we'll get onto that soon because now, David, it is time to look at the changes from the book to the screen, and so the ending is changed. Thematically, it stays quite similar, but in the book, McVrees does sit down, like he says, and dies peacefully as he's shot. But Stebbins is still alive in the book at this point with Ray. But then Stebbins collapses and dies. There is no subplot with Ray and the Major. When Ray gets to the end, he just ignores the Major and keeps following the dark figure that it's implied he's hallucinating. And he says there's still so far to walk. But that's the actual ending we get in the film. But it's just they've changed the character.
Stebbins drops dead because Ray says, "Can you see the dark figure?" Right, and that's when he drops dead. And I think one of the reasons why they changed the ending, is because from all the marketing, from literally everything that comes out, you know who the last 2 walkers are going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
It's bloody obvious, but you don't know which one of them it's going to be. That's the reveal that you're waiting for at the end, essentially. One of them's got to die. Which one's it going to be? And for that, I feel that the change from the book is that nice surprise, potentially, for those that have read the book. Or it pissed them off, because,
I don't think
people of books are like...
No, see, I don't think it would piss people off, because it's still thematically exactly the same ending, just they've changed the character. But they had to change the character, because in the book, there is no beef between the Major and... Ray. I'll explain that in a sec. Because in the film,
I'm saying is it gives a nice surprise.
Oh yeah,
to
everyone.
It gives
a surprise. But also in the film, McVrees goes to sit down and Ray saves him, and then waits behind and gets shot. McVrees then asks for what Ray's wish was, which was for the gun to kill the carbine to kill the Major. So McVrees actually completes Ray's wish and then keeps walking.
Yeah. McGreev's original wish was to have 2 winners of the long walk, so that the friends can make it as well, which is quite lovely. I think he should have kept to that.
I think that's why they had him win, because Ray's mission was a mission of revenge, and McVree's was a mission of
I think
not.
but Ray said that he wouldn't do it at the end.
Oh yeah, he has that.
At the
After
end
he
of the
sees
film,
his
he has
mum,
that. Yeah, and he says like, "I'm
that's the
doing this all
point
for the
where
wrong reasons. Like, I need to just get back to her and all that."
they also cut a character called Scram, who was the favourite to win, but most of his backstory was divided up between two other characters. So he's the character in the book who gets sick with pneumonia. That goes to Stebbins, but then he also has Stebbins' physicality as well. But then Olsen gets his wife, and she's pregnant as well in the book. So he's got a pregnant wife at home, this character. So they just took that guy and split him into two other characters. Yeah, and as you just said, David, Ray wants to get to Freeport to see his girlfriend, not his mother. And it's at this point in the film that Ray starts to waver as well. But in the book, they said Ray absolutely loses it in the book at this point. Like, after he sees his girlfriend for the last time, he fully gives up and is ready to die there and then. And it's McVree's who keeps him going on. So again, I suppose Ray winning then over McVree's is a nice kind of, you can kind of see, in the book that would have made sense.
And I think at that point as well, they'd established that rule that they're not going to help each other out anymore. And that was already established before McGreaves helped him with his girlfriend, I think. So, I mean, that was interesting. I thought it was a bit weird that they added that to the film, but then never really used it in the film. Was there ever a moment where people were like, "Oh, I could have helped him, but I didn't because we've made this pact with everyone"? So no, I don't think it happened. So I think it's important to say because it was a weird thing to add. If it was in the book, fine, but then in the book it has context because people die in the book because as a direct result of people not helping them.
One other thing, the kids were much younger in the books. Ray's only 16, for example. So, people don't like seeing children slaughtered on screen. So that's probably why they aged them up a little bit. And it was 100 boys, not 50 in the book. Which, again, we had enough slaughter. We didn't need even more. And, so Ray's motivation is different in the film. Like we said, in the film, it's revenge for the Major killing his father. In the book, it's that his father was squadded and taken away, hence conscripted against his will for the Vietnam allegory that obviously was prevalent at the time King was writing it. So, as I said, Ray's mission is one of revenge, while McFree's is to change the rules of the Long Walk so there are more survivors. Olsen's death is much, much more horrific in the book, man. In the film, he attacks the soldiers and gets gut shot, and they just leave him to die on the street as a warning, rather than be put out of his misery. Whereas in the book, he's shot a whole bunch more times, so much so that he's walking even with his intestines hanging out, and then he collapses on the floor, and then they go up and shoot him again to make sure he's fully dead that time.
Shit, yeah, that is a bit darker. I mean, I thought it was dark, just him going up, just him being left to bleed out. They don't put him out of his misery.
They didn't need to make it worse, did they? No.
What I found funny was, after they shoot the people, I mean, it's not funny, but
rephrase.
Kind of funny. After they shoot the person, they just leave them. They just leave. It's not like there's a cleanup squad like behind them. They just leave the bodies.
They could have at least shown a cleanup squad, couldn't they? Like, like a car trundling behind, like a bus trundling behind with, like, scraping someone into a body bag afterwards. But
putting them all in a pickup truck or something,
I mean, in a world that is beset by gun violence, this film really pulls no punches in the way it executes these boys on screen. I mean, like you mentioned earlier, some of the shots are so horrifically visceral, and the film really delivers strongly on that extreme content that you wouldn't normally expect in this type of. I'm still surprised this film was an 15 certificate. I know it didn't really have the language.
Some of the headshots, it doesn't it don't cut away.
Most of them.
Yeah, it doesn't cut away, and then there's the shots of like the shot of the guy getting his legs cut off or squished,
run over.
The shot of the guy having a shit.
Did not expect to see that from that
I didn't
angle.
need to see it. It's not. Yeah, and it ain't from the angle that you think it might be at, or where it's concealed a little bit. Nah, you see the lot.
Yeah, hope no one was having some nachos with a cheese dip at that point.
Oh, dude.
But yeah, again, in the kind of execution scenes, it's the actors' reactions that make it, and the sound design of the piercing bullets is just like, you think how much extreme violence you've seen on screen in horror films and war films and that, and just a simple act of a gunshot in this film is just horrific. It's almost like the first time it happens, it's almost like it dawns on them, oh shit.
Yeah.
Because at that point, they're joking around. They're kind of...
That person as well only lasted like 20 miles, didn't he, or something? 30 miles, 20 miles? He didn't last till the first night.
Was he the kid with the Charlie horse?
Yeah. The youngest kid that was there, because I think they noticed that... Because I think he lied about his age. To do it, yeah.
How do you interpret the end of the film then, David?
I kind of interpreted it as he got shot. He got shot and killed. McGreaves got shot and killed. After he killed the Major, he then himself got shot and then was just left to walk again. Or he shoots the Major. So I think the Major does get shot. I think that does happen.
Yeah. Because they wouldn't have shot him otherwise, would they?
But you can equally argue that none of that happened. There's no people there. The Major is there, kills off Ray, and then that's it. And then the rest of it's... You could argue hardly like any of that ending is real or not. But the one I think is... When I saw what happened was that he got shot at the end, and that he's just then left to walk like in wherever he's gone after
following
death.
The dark figure. Do you see the dark figure in the film, or is that just in the book now? Because I'm confused about that.
You didn't see it in the film. You just saw an empty road. Yeah.
Empty road. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how I saw it. Or equally, after he shot the Major, he just left to walk again. You know, because he didn't. And that's that. Like, he's just left walking. That's all he knows now. It's almost like all consuming. That's all he knows. He just walks.
Yeah. And like that's exactly the same ending in the book, just but with Ray. Obviously, but he doesn't shoot the Major. He just gets to the end and just keeps going. Yeah,
Ray, he's hallucinating that there's still someone walking. Yeah, he's not the last one, so he's still got to keep going.
Yeah, man. It's a dark near. I mean, this goes. I'll tell you where this goes up with Stephen King films, man. This goes up there with The Mist, but The Mist still trumps this for dark endings.
Yeah, the Mist's ending's kind of fucked up. Yeah,
kind of.
100% fucked up. Yeah,
I mean, it's a great film. I feel like The Mist is a modern classic that people don't talk about now.
The Mist, the first time you see it, you're like, but then once you know it, it's kind of funny. The fact that you know it's not. I mean, the fact that you know it's obviously a film. You know, it's like bow 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 bow, and then like, and then everything's okay, and then everyone just rolls past. That's spoilers for The Mist.
Yeah, spoilers for David finding the end of The Mist funny the second time round.
No, oh my God. The first time it's horrendous. But then once you know, and that you know it's a film. Come on, it's kind of funny.
I mean, did you not know it was a film the first time you were watching it?
Yeah, obviously, but you know you're more like invested the first time.
Right. So, David, I stupidly asked for comments on this film about an hour before we started recording. Well, kind of, because we were at a preview. So this film doesn't officially come out till today in the UK. That was silly. Yeah. The day we're recording it. Though? Yes, we did.
Oh, we got it.
Because our friends over at Cast Me to Hell obviously were at the same preview. Not the same cinema. We live in different places. But thankfully, they dropped us this gold. And also, don't forget to go over and listen to their episode after you finish listening to ours, because they've done their episode on this film as well. And they said, incredible film. I would probably die shitting instantly.
I'm right there with you, buddy. Which one of them said that? I'm there with them.
Well, dying while shitting seems as good a place as any to call it a day. David, is it a recommendation, and what do you give it out of 5?
100% a recommendation. Go watch this film if you're a Stephen King fan, if you're a movie fan, if you're a fan of long walks. Go and watch it.
If you're a fan of long walks, I can see that on the trailer poster quote right now. If you like long walks, go see The Long Walk. David, We Need a Roads podcast.
Yeah. It is a 4.5, but like I said, what it can do to earn that 5, I mean, it is practically a 5-star film. I don't know. I don't know why I'm only giving it 4.5.
Can you give it a 4.9?
Yeah.
Okay. So David gives it a 4.9. I'm going to give it a 4.5 because I was like same as you, mate. I couldn't decide between a 4 or 5. Yes, it's super brutal and grim, but despite that, the camaraderie between our young musketeers is great. On Bar Barkovich. Yes, still fuck that guy. The more you learn about the kids, just the way their performances win you over. You're like, no, I don't want any of these guys to die, but they're all going to die, bar one person.
Can I talk about one shot that's in the film that I was like, that's a fucking good shot? It's after Ray has been killed, and the Major just walks past, like, it's the camera angle walks just over his body, like around his body, like he's not just killed him, and is saying to McGreaves, "Yo, dude," like well, he doesn't say it like that, but like you know,
you won,
won.
son.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
It's just that shot's like messed up. It shows so much about the environment they're living, the Major's character, what they're having to do, everything in just that one image, that one shot. It's brilliant.
Right, well, that is all the time we have on this week's episode of the We Needed Roads podcast. I'd like to thank my co-host David. David, where can people find you on the socials?
You can find me at We Needed Roads on Instagram, and every month I might post on Blue Sky, and that is at Long
How many
D.
months ago did you last post on Blue Sky?
I think it was a month ago when I was slagging off Jurassic World.
Nice.
Anyway, Long D.
At beg your pardon? Oh, at Blue Sky. And you can find me at Needed Roads on Twitter, Neil Gregory78 on Instagram and Threads. Join the Threads revolution, guys. Honestly, so many people comment on Threads. It's great, and I love it. And I'm Neil G78 on Blue Sky as well, where I post less. Just because there's too many socials. And for more We Needed Road shenanigans, you can find us on Spotify and hopefully also here on YouTube where you've been watching us. But you can see our video episodes on Spotify as well. And you can find our full library of episodes on Spotify and YouTube, which I've just said I am hallucinating and garbling like someone who's been walking for 5 days at this point. And if you like what you've been hearing, hit that bell icon and subscribe, because we also upload tons of short form content. I believe most recently we had Marie going crazy about Has Been Hotel Season 2 that drops soon, and she didn't just do one video, she did two on it. She loves her some...
Do a live interpretation of Marie watching Has Been Hotel.
And don't forget to leave us your thoughts on the long walk, but most importantly, how long you think you'd last, and what would cause you to get your ticket punched.
Dude, what would you wish for?
Oh, world peace?
I mean, that's a shit wish. Why would you wish for world peace? Yeah, but you're already getting money. Like 10 naked ladies. To have 2 winners.
Someone would have
walk.
to pay those naked ladies.
Super yacht. That's what I'm wishing for, super yacht. Because super yacht's going to take up a lot of your money anyway.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, that is the reason we started the podcast, remember? Super yachts. That Jose was going to bring over to Florida.
Yeah, and I'd wish for this episode to go viral. Bam. There
That'd
we go.
Be nice. Make sure to join us next time on your favourite cardio-powered pop culture podcast. See you then.
We Needed Roads.
What are you looking at,